Hey, it's Bill from the Bill Simmons podcast. FIFA World Cup 26 fans, listen up. As the official beer sponsor of the FIFA World Cup 26, Michelob Ultra is giving away $1 million worth of FIFA World Cup 26 tickets and prizes. Enter now at MichelobUltra.com/superior access/FIFA World Cup 26. Michelob Ultra FIFA World Cup 26 superior access, no purchase necessary. Open U.S. residents 21 plus, begins on December 1st, 2025, ends on July 31st, 2026, multiple entry periods. Visit www.MichelobUltra.com/superior access/FIFA World Cup 26 for free entry deadlines, prizes, and details.
Are all batteries the same? That's like asking if all soccer players are the same. Take Messi, the most decorated player ever. Is there any other player who has achieved that? No, just him. Now take Duracell. Is there any other battery with power boost ingredients inside? No, just Duracell. Remember, goats only trust goats because they're built different. And Messi only trusts Duracell.
Running a small business means I wear lots of hats. When I put on my hiring hat, I can count on LinkedIn Hiring Pro to make it easy. LinkedIn Hiring Pro helps manage my hiring workflow, puts my job post in front of a unique network of professionals, and matches me with the best candidates for my business. I can also share my job with my network. No other job site lets me do that. No wonder most small businesses say they'd use LinkedIn Hiring Pro again. Hire right the first time. Post your job for free on LinkedIn today at linkedin.com/quality.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Christian Moore back to Jack Goodchild on the blue line. He manages to get it wide to Jacob Minter. Jack Goodchild with the shot, and the Slough Jets have taken the lead on the power play with 23 seconds remaining. And Jack Goodchild is Kane Russell with the shot cross goal. No need for the save from Lorne. And Campbell finds himself in, and it's 3-1 to the Johnson Chieftains. They have hit back quickly.
Hello and welcome to Zero Pucks Given, the UK Ice Hockey Podcast, hosted by me, Ben Hyde.
And me, Caitlin Noah Piner.
Hello, mate, you okay?
Yeah, all good, thankfully, after that game. What about you?
Yeah, lifting the Iron Curtain slightly. We're recording on a Wednesday evening after England football team have just put everyone through the ringer.
Yeah.
But safely through to Monday's last 16 tie against Mexico, where I'll be going next week, so hopefully I won't have my holiday ruined either way. But lots of excited Mexicans and lots of depressed English people. Either way.
Probably.
Well, so we're kicking on to this, doing like one episode a month during the summer. Obviously, We're both going to be away for a bit in July, so we thought we'd get it out of the way nice and early. And then when we come back at the end of July, we actually have got another episode as well, because we're going to be sitting down with C, who's been doing lots of stuff on social media with regards to hockey. She's been getting involved in doing refereeing, playing, and all sorts of other stuff. Really, really exciting stuff. So we'll be chatting with her about that. And then starting to get other guests confirmed as we kind of move into the league season. Already confirmed, we put a post out a couple of weeks ago, is Kane Taylor, King of the North from Hull. Really, really interesting story to Kane. Quite a sad story, actually, of to how he no longer plays hockey. But they've got the big Hull alumni game coming up at the end of July as well, so we'll be sharing some of that stuff out on our social media. For anyone who's in the northern region, you can go and get hold of that. We've also got Max Van Mullen confirmed as coming on at some point this year. That's going to be really good to speak to Max. I said we'd probably give it a few months. I want him to settle in at Streatham first, so that he can really see, and then tell us what it's like, how different it is between
between clubs and stuff.
Romford and Streatham and the Raiders and whatnot. And there's one more. It's completely evading me at the moment. but there is definitely one more that's been confirmed.
There is definitely one more.
Yeah, so we'll start getting these guests, lined up, because I love all the the weekly update episodes and the news episodes, but the interview episodes are absolutely terrific. I really enjoy doing those.
So, I'll tell you what, like you, I love doing all the weekly sort of updates as well, but nothing beats just sitting down and talking hockey, and sometimes not even hockey, with someone that's involved within hockey. It's just so interesting. I could sit there for hours with some of them and just listen to them talk about everything.
Yeah, it's such an interesting part of actually being a podcaster it is talking. If you're talking to people, especially people that you don't actually know, and you're kind of learning things at the same time during the conversation. You're learning things about each other, and it takes the conversation up in different directions. It's so interesting, and I always hark back actually to I'm wearing my Retribe hat, but to the first time that Nick Rothwell was on the podcast. And I'd researched Nick's career. I knew where he'd played. He was of interest because of what he was doing with Retribe, and also because it was like the first season of the podcast, and he had played for Chelmsford Chieftains previously, as well as other things. And I knew all that about his career. I had absolutely no idea about his alcohol addictions. So as we started to getting into that, which actually I led him down that path without even knowing,
realising,
talking about issues that I'd had previously with alcohol. And then you can kind of see it on my face that it's opened up this whole new branch of conversation. And that is, for me, podcasts are they're a massive thing now, going back to when they were, a relatively new thing, maybe sort of 10 years ago. That was what was exciting about them, is that these open, long-form conversations that you just have no idea where they're going to go. And, we went on some tangents with Scott White as well, didn't we, when Scott was on?
that was a sort of main one, just like everything about his career, his life, like how he grew up. Like, you do with everybody, though, not just Scott and not just Nick. You sort of do with everyone. You just go off on tangents about other things because you're sort of, like, getting to know them on more of a personal level, I feel.
Yeah, absolutely. And then that kind of, I feel like the listeners they're involved in that when they're listening, because they're hearing both sides of the combo as well. So, yeah, a terrific medium that we're obviously so happy to be a part of.
Yeah, thanks to you, I'm a part of it. So cheers, then.
Do what we do. So in UK ice hockey, obviously it's summer. The rumour mill is flying. We're going to talk.
Yeah.
We're going to stoke the fire of an exciting rumour later on as well that no one's really heard. We're going to make a rumour up and see how long it takes to get round anywhere. But we have had enormous news, like ground-shaking, earth-shattering news in UK ice hockey, which is the merger. The merger is now complete. England ice hockey, Scottish ice hockey, and all that, no more. Ice Hockey UK. I'm putting like a power fist up for those who are usually yes.
Empowerment.
Yeah. And it's been so needed. And I think, we're not going to read the statement verbatim, but I think one of the really, really important things that's in that statement is that ice hockey is now the first Olympic sport in the United Kingdom to have one governing body.
Yeah.
And that is a huge, huge step forward, because as we've said time and time again, the sport is getting fantastic boosts from the likes of Heated Rivalry, which I've still never seen, Off Campus, which I have actually seen.
I have seen.
I've been a little bit on Off Campus. So that's given it great boosts. And but we're not going to get another Mighty Ducks or something like that gives it a global boost. So in terms of the UK, what we really need to happen is we need our guys or our girls to qualify for the Olympics.
Yeah.
And hopefully this is going to help.
Everyone watches the Olympics, and as soon as you see something England, it could be a sport that you've never watched before, but you watch it because your country are in it.
That's why I'm obsessed with curling.
Yeah. What?
No interest in domestic curling, but when it's Great Britain, I'm all over it.
Yeah. When will I ever watch curling outside of the Olympics? I won't. But as soon as that Olympics is on, I'm watching it.
But after all the statement, the kind of how it's been left is that Ice Hockey UK is the unified national governing body for ice hockey across England, Northern Ireland, Scotland and Wales. Following the historic merger ratified on the 16th of June, IHUK oversees the sport from grassroots participation to elite international competition, representing approximately 14,000 registered members. Ice hockey is the UK's most watched indoor sport and the fifth most attended nationwide. Scottish ice hockey oversaw the grassroots and participation element of the sport across Scotland and Northern Ireland, whilst England ice hockey administered the sport in England and Wales. Now that that's all under one banner, I think we're going to see a lot more focus on the idea of taking these players from grassroots to Team GB. Yeah. And what I do quite like, actually, is that there's no real involvement of the Elite League in this.
No, there isn't.
And I quite like that, because I think they prefer to be out on their own. They don't want to be seen, we're not a development league. We're not here to develop British players for Team GB. You know what? Well, if you don't want to do that, then fine, fuck off.
Yeah.
Do it your own fucking way.
Do what you want. 15
Canadians and 6, Slovaks in your team, and don't have any British players. If you want to do it that way, then do it that way. But then we've got the rest of the whole country with all of the conferences and the other tiers that we've got to take our British players from grassroots and take them right the way through the levels. Some of these clubs are now creating exceptional pathways to get them from junior to NHL2, NHL1 and up to the National League. And then if they get the opportunity, which we're seeing more, to be fair, with the women, I think we'll see it more with the men when we get the 2010s start coming through and playing seniors, that they will go abroad. If they're too good for the National League, they'll go abroad.
They will.
And that's going to be a good way, I think, for our international team to improve.
Well, that is the thing. I mean, you already see like juniors playing for Team GB. Some of them are already out playing in different countries because first off, they're not getting picked in the elite league. So why would you stay in the UK when you can't develop yourself further?
Absolutely.
So
it happened with Brindley Caps. I know Brindley's back at Coventry Blaze now, but in his first season there, he had that year at Romford Buccaneers where he absolutely ran the fucking show and he was going up to Raiders and he was scoring goals, and then everyone was like, bang, the Blaze have taken a chance, and he got 4 to 4 minutes a game, dump and run, and what is that? That's not going to help him. It's not.
No, of course it's not. It literally defeats the whole point.
Yeah, I don't think it really went his way when he went over to the Silverbacks over in Canada. I don't think that particularly worked for him. Had a good time at Telford back last year, but now this is where, especially from the Blaze, I know they're saying, oh, yeah, we're not development this, we're not development that. Brindley Caps is now full senior GB international.
Yeah.
He deserves his place at the Blaze.
And
he deserves shift time, and he will be the player that they signed.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit of sort of a hypocrisy in there that I'm saying don't care what the Elite League do, because I don't really, but they've got a player that played in our league. So now I want him to give him a chance because he's not like
he's worthy of it. He's worthy of it as well.
Yeah.
And I don't even think if he played in like the leagues we cover, you can just see he's worthy of it. So he does deserve it at the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah. So that's fantastic news with the IHUK UK. Other big news is right in your wheelhouse, really.
Yes, it is. My team are back. So Oxford Stars now. There's no City, no Rising.
That's going to take some time to get used to.
I don't know. I'm sort of used to it because I think before Rising became a team, a lot of people would refer to Oxford City Stars as either City Stars or Oxford Stars anyways. But yeah, I know the whole getting rid of the City and Rising is just to cut ties with them teams because that's not Oxford Stars. This is a completely new team, completely new setup. It's all ran through by the juniors, and I'm also very happy to be back involved with them. So yeah, that we are back. Oxford Stars will be returning to NHL 2 South, which is gonna take some time for me to get my head around. But yeah, it looks like it's going in the right direction from my point of view as socials and that. It sounds very good.
Yeah, and already started releasing a few players. Brett Massey returning.
We have.
That's that's a top signing. That's a good goalkeeper. Despite obviously he's had injury problems, had operations, he's come back. That's a top goalkeeper. Yeah,
especially in IHL too. He iced a few times for Rising last year. Not that I was there, but every time it was fans on sort of Facebook and Instagram just saying how well he did. So it is just a great signing for Stars. And then obviously Joey Edwards as well, we announced. He could be 80 years old and still be playing ice hockey. He has just always been the main man. Obviously we've always had the Darren Elliott's and Joey Edwards, but you just cannot beat them.
I think every team needs them. They need those players.
You do. Yeah, you do. So yeah, it's obviously, it looks like it's going in the right direction, and obviously it's great for everyone involved because finally we've got something that is working through a pathway and is actually what has been needed and wanted by fans, volunteers, and sort of off-ice staff for a long, long time. So the fact it's happening is quite exciting.
It is. And I really like the logo. I think it's a really, really cool design, actually. The way that the star, it sits in what just looks like a shape, but then the longer you look at it, you see that's the eye.
Now, I said this. Well, I was thinking, why is it in a box? It's why is it in a box? I don't get it. I said I really like it because there was loads of different colour aspects of it in our socials group chat. And I was thinking, I don't understand it. And then it hit me. I was like, oh, I'm just thick because it's an O for Oxford Stars. Like, it makes so much sense. But yeah, no, I really like it. And I mean, not if people have seen, there's sort of like a colour missing that we used to have in all like the posts. So, you know, potential kit changes as well.
Yeah, I mean,
I won't say too much.
Grey, isn't there? I love the idea of a bit of grey with yellow.
I think as well, like grey, you just can't go wrong with grey, can you?
It looks classy, doesn't it?
It looks classy, and also like I don't know why, but it just sort of gives that retro feel when something's grey with like a pop of colour. I don't know why.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I mean, I haven't seen any kit designs or anything. I wish I had, but I haven't. But yeah, we've returned and I'm very happy. And I did promise Monty, the new general manager, he'll get his shout out from going from fisherman to GM. There'll be no fishing rods at Oxford this year.
That's terrific. It's terrific to have them back. We know, obviously, this week we put out 2 incredibly popular social media posts where we kind of mapped out the UK for our 2 divisions as to where all of these clubs sit. And it's very clear and obvious from the first glance that there are a lot more teams in NIHL 2 than there are in NIHL 1.
That is so many.
And I don't know and in all fairness, you know, we may have even jumped the gun. We have not actually had confirmation that this is how the divisions will build.
No, we haven't. But
I mean, we have. I don't know if I'm allowed to reveal what I'm about to reveal because I've been told it through in some internal sources. Peterborough and Haringey were begged to go up, and they're just not quite there yet. And
do you know what? That's absolutely fine because they've held themselves and said, no, that's too big of a challenge as of right now.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to be forced to make a jump. I mean, they weren't forced. They were just asked.
They were, yes, they begged. I think they were asked.
They were asked politely.
Please.
But also not by anything official. Like, it wasn't by, like, a league or anything. Well, from what I've heard. But, like, it's good that they've sort of said no because we're not ready.
I think it was a fairly official question, but I'll leave that there.
We'll keep that.
I'll keep that one to myself. But I think the idea for both of them. I mean, when we spoke in the last episode about some of the players that have left Peterborough, we were actually, I think you were probably the similar as me, under the assumption that that means that they're going up and these guys don't want to go with them.
No.
But that's not worked out the case. And I think for Haringey, they've not threatened it, but it's been part of the conversation for a long time with Haringey. But it's their 10-year anniversary. You know, they're filling the Palace out every week. They've put together a really, really strong roster this year. I completely understand them saying, look, it's our 10th anniversary. We want to keep packing the rink. We don't want to have to go into an even harder league and start this incredible celebration year with incredibly difficult fixtures that could potentially, you know, damage the crowd coming in and whatnot. So I completely understand from Haringey's point of view.
Yeah.
You know, their jerseys have started being released as well for their 10-year anniversary. Stunning jerseys. For those of you even quandering, do I own and loan one? Do it. Absolutely do it because they are stitched. They are fully stitched. They are incredible quality from CCM. So get yourselves, your Haringey Husky fans, get yourselves your own and loan jerseys. And Joey, jersey-wise, there's been a few that have popped. I quite like the... did we speak about Stretham's one on last month's episode? I can't quite remember.
I can't quite remember now.
The red, the alternate Streatham jersey that's red has got like a black London skyline on it, and that looks...
Oh, yes. It looks amazing. I can see it in my head now.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's not at the bottom, it's like in the middle where they normally have the white. Yeah, it's so nice.
Yeah, it's really nice. Obviously, I'll get a bit of stick on Facebook this week with our top 5 signings for being pro-Chelmsford bias, which is unusual. Most people that listen will know that I am a Chelmsford fan, but I'm very normally not biased. But the I've got to say their jerseys are absolutely popping this year. I think they're stunning.
I think we said this over text as well. I love the colour block.
Yeah, the name band at the top.
The name band. I love that.
Yeah, it's a real classy look. They've been very well designed. I think there's still one, I think, to come out, like either an alternate or a cup jersey to come out. I think there's still one. So we've got the gold warm-up, the white home and the black away. There's still one to come out. And then moving probably towards like the second part of this season, then moving into next season, it's going to be the Chieftains' 40th anniversary. So we can expect some more cool stuff coming out of the side for there. Signings wise, say we were moving to these teams. We've not really had anything new announced from anyone at the top end of the Britain division. A lot of the new signings have come in the Wilkinson, or in fact from Invicta, to be perfectly honest. So when we did our top 5 signings each so far over the summer, and we generally we kind of went with new rather than retentions.
Yes.
That's something that can kind of change it up. And the only one that was a little bit of a funny one was Harvey Briggs, because he obviously has played for Romford, but he's not two-way in this year. He's not with the Raiders. He's just going to be...
He's just Romford, so it's sort of, we class that as new.
Relatively new. But obviously, and then I got called out for my Chelmsford bias for picking Rio Grinnell Park as number 1. But no one called out your Oxford bias by giving Ross Miller the number 1, although Ross himself was ever so slightly embarrassed about how much you glowed about him.
Yeah, I mean, he's never, ever, he's the most humble person I've ever known. He would, have the most amazing game, and he'd be like, yeah, but, that one that I, really fucked up on. I was like, what? We all will happily say, I will sit here and happily say, if you put most fans of hockey in the room, of NHL 1, South, from watching him for the last 5 seasons, most of them will say the best goalie in that league is him. I will. I mean, shoot me if I'm wrong, but I think they will. Well,
he was always fairly busy when he was at Oxford. So.
That's the thing. You always find the worse teams have the better goalies because they're busy all the time.
Yeah.
So you see them do their job more, whereas goalies like Brad Shepherd, great goalie, but because he's got such amazing D in front of him. He doesn't have to do as much of the work, but it doesn't take back the work he does do, if that...
Yeah, I mean, I've got to admit, the last time we saw Brett play was at Sheffield, and he was fucking unbelievable.
That, I think, was the best goalie performance I've ever seen. Yeah. Unreal. But,
both nights as well. I mean, obviously I wasn't there on Saturday, you were, and he was incredible on the Saturday, but on the Sunday, it was just as good.
Yeah, he is insane. But, Ross, if you're listening, just give yourself more credit, mate.
Well, I mean, as far as goalies go in the NIHL 2, obviously you had Ross as your number 1 signing with the Canucks, so that's an NIHL 1 level goalkeeper in pipes for the Canucks.
Yeah.
At Haringey, they've got Petr Cech, regularly played NIHL 1. They've also got Luke Clark, the top Peter Phantoms goalie that's gone back to Haringey Huskies, and of course Naomi Healy that's been announced recently. So they're looking really strong in the pipes as well. And then when you see this Oxford announcement of Brett Massey, that's another goalkeeper with NIHL 1 to National League level of quality. So the quality of the goaltending in NIHL 2 is going to be, I think, a real game changer.
Mm-hmm. I think it's going to play a massive part of the games, 100%.
Yeah, it absolutely could do. And when you're looking at, funnily enough, we haven't done any predictions or anything yet because you can't when the rosters aren't complete. But someone messaged us the other day and was like, oh, I can't remember if it was on Facebook or Instagram. It was like, oh, what do you think about the Wilkinson division then? What's your thing? And I actually said, well, I'm going to go Huskies, Phoenix, Thunder as a top 3. And
what? I 100% agree with you there. I think Huskies got it. I really do.
But then that's, but you just don't know what people else are going to build, because I thought, Phantoms have been weakened by the Huskies generally, so that's kind of...
But then who are they going to bring in, because they've got to replace them?
Yeah, they've got to replace them, and obviously they've got their National League team there and their junior set up, so their pathway is relatively good as well. So, it's all very exciting, but, and obviously I've probably got some sort of Thunder bias as well now to some NIHL 2 fans that think I've got a Thunder bias, but... Yeah, trust me, as we've said here, there's no bias here whatsoever. We love it all.
No, we love it all. But this year I am going to be tested on my bias, because I didn't have to be tested last year.
Yeah, that is true. We'll see how long it takes you to trip up on that. We'll see how long it takes you.
I will be absolutely fine.
Before we get a wee. We were talking about NHL 2 and we get a wee, then we know, she's gone, she's done, she's in.
I think I already did it earlier. We're back, I think I said. But it is we, because I am a part of it, so I think you can let me off.
Yeah. But so with our top 5 signings that were shared on our social media, so we both had I think it was 3 of the same players in there. So we both had Connor Pollard,
Yes.
Who's gone from Peterborough to Haringey. We both had Harvey Briggs, who has gone from Raiders back to Buccaneers. And we both had Migas Canis, who's gone from Buccaneers to Invicta as a top signing. And then you went with Ross Miller and
Neil Lydiard.
And I went with Rio Grinnell Park and who did I go for? Oh, Ralph Senis at Solent.
That's it, yeah.
Just as I said, because they've got so many points to replace with the likes of Dan Lackey, Mark Pitts, Liam Coleman all leaving, and I know that he's not a massively revered character in the UK ice hockey sort of fraternity. He's a bit controversial. He's a bit of a lad, but he's got great ability, and I think that's what Solent is going to need this year. It's going to need character in that rebuild, and I think that's what he's going to bring. So I think all in all, that was a fairly honest and successful approach at looking at who the top 5 signings were. But on the whole, who do you think has had the best summer?
Oh. Well, it's hard to say. It's hard to say because some teams haven't announced many players. But I don't know. I mean, Chieftains have been banging them out. They have. I don't know. You go first because I think it's.
Well, I have 2, but one's in each division. So I think we could do it that way. So for me in the Wilson division, it's been the Huskies.
Yeah, I 100% Haringey.
Terrific summer. Some of the new signings as well as the retentions where players like Ruskin Springer Hughes and that they've kept from that really good time last year. We're going to get hopefully a fully fit James Pentecost as well, which even he's a few years older than he was when he was running it at Chieftains. He's still an incredible player. Courtney Grant, I've never seen a man in that sort of physical shape. He's in absolutely unbelievable shape. So these players are all going to cause real problems for the teams of the Wilson division. But in the Britain division, Invicta. I think Invicta have had an incredible summer.
Yeah, I was going to say either Invicta or Streatham.
Well, the Streatham one is interesting because it's purely experience.
It is, but again, if that's going to get you the title, you're going to go for it.
Absolutely.
It's not if they were in an NHL 2, obviously you're thinking development. If it was a development side, you're thinking that defeats the whole point of an NHL 2. But they can just have a whole team of experience. As
they're a kind of a standalone club, aren't they? They haven't got the Blackhawks anymore down there. They've got the junior setup at Streatham, but they're having that kind of experience in that roster. It's an astonishing roster.
And obviously I added Mikey Power as well.
Yeah, that's a top sign.
I'll tell you what, if we were to do our top 5 now, he would be my top.
Yeah, I think that it came out just after, didn't it?
Just after.
which was ironic because we'd been told that from a few people a while ago.
But we didn't,
We sat on it. We kept on it because none of us were sure. And I don't like to ask people that would know because...
It puts them in a sticky situation.
People want to keep it secret.
I've been there. It is an awful situation when you want to tell someone but you can't.
Yeah, but we knew that was happening, and we both said at the time that's a great signing.
Yeah.
So that really has worked. But what Invicta have done, and I'll tell you what, one thing that was in this top 5 things that we've done, we didn't really pick any imports because you just don't know.
No.
That they can come over with fantastic reputations and the game tape can all be there to watch, but until they've actually played in this league. You don't know. You just don't know. And we've been really lucky, I think, in this division, in the Britain division particularly, with imports. Obviously, Damon Porter at Chelmsford was superb. Dylan Dix was Chelmsford, now at Streatham, been superb. The guy at Invicta last year, Dan Gattenby, who's not returning, he was fantastic.
He was such a great sign-in.
And, in some respects, I know it didn't work brilliantly for Dylan Hullaby at Oxford, but he did really well
in Blackburn. Yeah, he definitely improved. I think we said that the other day.
Yeah, and when you bring these imports in, the imports are they're like the carrot, I think, for getting the fans in the door. If you've got exciting imports that can not only do things incredible on the ice, but they've got that character as well, which, you kind of demand that of an import. So, obviously, from what we've seen so far... coming in import-wise, it all looks very exciting. But until they play, we won't know. No, but there's been a lot of really, really good stuff said, and reputation-wise, the Invicta signing, William, his name's completely out of my head, But that looks like a really, really good import signing. And then what they've done with adding the likes of Adam Erskine, which is a cracking signing.
That's a great signing.
You know, he's a player that when he was at Slough a couple of years ago, and Slough were just starting this kind of dynasty that they're in now, with all of these players. You know, the Moore boys were younger, Jack Goodchild was younger, Luke Smith was younger, and they're all coming through. And Adam Erskine was one of those kind of, with Jacob White-Say as well, sitting on that blue line and making them really hard to beat. And then he went up and he had his time in the National League with the Bees and the Bison. But yeah, I just think that's a terrific signing.
It is a great signing, yeah. But no, definitely for me, it's either Streatham or Invicta for Britain, and then Wilkinson is Haringey run away with that, to be honest.
Yeah, William Robinson is the import that's signed for Invicta, come from Ontario Tech. So, I mean, we all know that's a good level. We all know it should be. So yeah, really looking forward to that to be done. But yeah, the Adam Erskine one was a really good one, and the Callum Burnett one is
another great signing. Like, I'll tell you what, maybe Invicta have done it for me. They've just topped Streatham just that bit.
Yeah, because Streatham's been a lot of retentions. You know, but it's only really Lids in it that's new. And yeah. And Mikey Power, of course.
Power, but again, both experienced, but that is what changes the dynamic of them winning the league and Slough winning the league. Do you know what I mean?
Because you look down that Streatham roster, and I think, you know what, they're going to be so fucking hard to beat.
Yeah,
so hard to beat.
They're going to be so good to play, to watch. Sorry.
Yeah, but then you kind of look at it and say, well, because of the experience, are you then going to go with like brute force pace to try?
Well, yeah, because then you sort of. But then is it because they're all fit enough to do it?
They're also they can get old man. It happened to Slough at Steel City Showdown. They've got old man.
They got old man, yeah.
And I think it's just going to make it so exciting to see. And bearing in mind, obviously, Slough they've lost Minter, they've lost Lilliard. There's no one new been announced yet from Slough. Obviously, key retentions, the likes of Brandon Miles. Great to see Jack Goodchild back.
Yeah,
so good. Awful to see him miss a whole year through injury. Proper shame that was. I was in Sheffield when he got the injury, in the playoff finals the year previous, and yeah, horrible to see, but great to see him back. I did offer him a room for a potential transfer, but yeah, it's just going to make it so exciting in the top three, and similar down in the Wilkinson division, because that division is so competitive.
I think more competitive than Britain as well.
Well, I think you're still going to get that league is still going to split into 3 leagues, like the Britain division does.
Well, yeah, because there was also just so many teams, so it is the inevitable.
Yeah, but I think teams as far down as 9 can beat 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah,
in the Wilkinson division.
That's the difference of the leagues. Yeah.
Yeah, but it just makes it so exciting for us, and we're virtually counting the days until it is back.
Bring it back. The 4,000 game just really made me realise that I need hockey back.
Yeah, brilliantly brought in, because we just casually skipped over that in the scope.
Oh, did we? There's also something else I'm going to add that's not in our list.
Oh, go on.
Our favourite players.
We did. We released the Wilkinson division.
Ones as well, so we'll have to go through that as well.
Yeah, we will have to go through that a little bit. So it's, that was obviously from last season. I didn't see virtually any Wilkinson live. I saw some online, but
do you know what? I saw more Wilkinson than Britain, I think. Don't know how.
We could go through that, but say the 4,000 and counting charity game, that was just that little bit of, beautiful weather outside, but missing hockey, getting in there. It was a really, really good little crowd for the day. Some people that had kind of just seen it randomly and ended up coming in, which was terrific. Great to see so many players from all across the country.
Yes.
All playing for a laugh. And as I said, on commentary, which you had a go, didn't you, as well?
I did, yeah. It was really strange. I've never done that before, but, something more to tick off the list.
Yeah, but we said on there, just fair fucking play to Nikki, because you wouldn't even be able to start organising something like that.
No, I couldn't.
Not only organise it, but then play in it and sort out jerseys and trophies and everything that he'd done. It was a terrific day. The jerseys are gorgeous as well. So if
always are.
Yeah, if they come up for sale on the 4,000 Vinted or eBay or whatever it is, make sure that you do do buy one, because it all goes to fantastic causes as well. Obviously, Heads Up Hockey, the Ben Kinsella project, and Adam's Angels were all taking benefit from the day. So really, really good to see. Interesting game. It was the first time I've seen Lee Bonner play. It was fun.
I mean, when you go, you don't really expect to see empty bottles of Sol, and I mean like about 10 on the bench. You just don't really, but that was what was there.
Yeah, and there was one, but we'll start this rumour now. Actually, there was one player playing in there. It was the captain of one of the teams who was playing for the Manchester Storm. Is now a free agent.
Yeah, and we are going to start the rumour.
We're going to start the rumour that he's going to come to the Britain division.
Yeah, can he? Is that going to happen?
Yeah.
It's possible. I think it's very possible.
I think Nicky said that he might be getting a Rolex to go to Blackburn Hawks. So they are Chieftains, Buckleys, up the Rolex and get Zach Sullivan down in a Chiefs jersey.
No bias.
Oh no, it would be absolutely terrific, absolutely terrific. But yeah, to be fair, we've not been off the mark with our rumours on this show.
No, we haven't actually. Or it's always, to be fair though, most of our rumours are like someone's messaged the account and then we'll actually voice it. This one is actually your thought.
Yeah, I made this one up entirely.
Yeah, completely made this up. I got a message this morning. He could come to an IHL one.
I literally dropped it in a chat on one of the Chieftains groups because some of the fans were saying, we could do with one more day. And I was like, Zach Sullivan's available. So from crazy rumours then to, as you said, our favourite players that we sort of shouted out from the Wilkerson division from last year. Again, as we said, same with the Britain division, not exclusively done on stats. Some just stuff that we've seen, some just people that we know, that we like watching play the game. But it always brings up interesting thoughts.
Yeah.
And
but then it is just our opinions.
It's just our opinion, and it's kind of like posting it on that kind of on the platform, like online, like we do. It kind of invites people to disagree, which we like.
Which we like. I don't like conflict.
Who's yours? Like if we've given ours, who's yours?
Yeah,
go on. Mine. So yeah, I think it's great for a little bit of a social interaction,
of course,
and cohesion. So we both went the same on a couple, didn't we? So
yeah.
Well, you go through yours.
Maybe we go through teams. We'll go
through teams. We'll go through teams.
For Bristol Pitbulls, I went for Morgan Parsons.
Yeah, so obviously that's not on stats.
What? Not on stats, but right.
Sorry, Morgan.
Lovely guy, but also from watching him play in NHL 1, going down to NHL 2 and playing for Bristol, he did really improve. And like some of the stats do prove that. Obviously they weren't, the best team in the league, but I do really think he really improved, and he's done a lot to improve, also like to himself. So yeah, I think I'll stand on that.
Yeah, I went with Ollie Sean, just a player that I'd seen play around, at that level and around the clubs around that area. And I always think with Bristol, it's a funny one because I always thought that when the Pitbulls went to the National League, I don't think they were quite ready. It was, I think, from what I understand, they had the money in place to do it.
It was money,
the big sponsorship from Honda, and it was like
the new rink as well.
Yeah, the new rinks. I don't think they were quite ready. So when this Bristol Pitbulls 2 came around, I don't think they were quite ready either. And it's starting to kind of build up a little bit now, and we're starting to see better things out of Bristol. And hopefully now, obviously, because they've got this link now with Cardiff Fire. To try and have this pathway, for people that are in that area of the country, which, is notoriously quite far from everywhere else.
Yeah, everywhere else.
So yeah, really, really interesting. But yeah, that one was to say for me was mostly on stats, but he had a good year last year for the Pitbulls.
Yeah, to be honest, Ollie Sean he's always scoring, isn't he?
Yeah.
Did it for Stars a few years back.
Yeah. Shone like a star.
Yeah. Oh! Look at you go.
Fantastic. On to the Canucks, and I had to go with Ozzy. I love Ozzy. And last year when I was down, I can't remember what game it was the Legal Cup, I was down at Solent watching Chelmsford. And I was there quite early. I looked down the side of the corridor, I was like, that's Steve Osman. Yeah. I was like, that's sneaky.
Yeah.
Yeah, terrific player. Absolutely terrific player. Great to see him still kicking it.
I went for Zach Shanahan. Just want to pronounce that correctly. Sort of off stats as well. Like he just pops in the goals really. But also he is just a great player, and There's a photo of me and him.
Yeah, that's country night. You've got your cowboy hat on.
Got my cowboy hat on. Obviously, didn't pick him for that. He is just a good player, but even on that night, he put a few in, and he plays hockey with a lot of class. Yeah,
that's always good to see. Warriors.
I went with George Beckett, sort of stats wise as well.
Yeah.
Just an all round good player, I think.
Yeah, definitely good to see him on his 2-way with the Chieftains this year. He did get a bit of ice time towards the end of last year, so he's again, just good to see clubs utilising that pathway, which is terrific.
Which is exactly what it's there for.
Yeah, and similar with me for a player like that, I went with Eden Rolfe, who played up a lot with the Chieftains last year, but with the Chieftains he plays D. With Warriors he plays a little bit more attacking. And he's got a lot of flair, a lot of class, and I think that's a top signer for Romford actually.
Yeah.
This year. I think he'll fit in there really, really well. He'll get top line minutes as well, I think. Top 2 line minutes maybe. But yeah, that'd be really, really good to see him playing in Romford. But yeah, terrific young man. He has actually agreed to come on the pod. It's just about getting a something organised to get him on.
Yes.
But yeah, he's a good lad. Good lad. Phoenix.
I went with Josh Abbott.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know Josh. He's a top bloke, and also his dad is. But again, not just personally. Again, he is just a good player, and I think he is Guildford through and through. Like, I know he's had, spells at Oxford, but you can tell he's so passionate about Guildford, and I think he's just a great player in the dressing room as well. I expect there, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I do think he loves Guildford, and the Guildford boys love him.
Cracking, yeah. I went with Scott Bailey. He's just got so much class when he plays the game, so much experience. First time I saw Scott playing for Streatham, so I knew he kind of had that level of ability because Streatham were just winning everything, at that point. It's great to see him still playing for Guildford. I went through a bit of an injury crisis with himself, and I think he did spend at least a year travelling around the world. But now come back, and Guildford have been fucking unstoppable for a couple of years. So yeah, Scott Bailey for me for that.
Yeah. And then I'm getting mixed up with the post because there's so many teams.
Yeah.
Invicta.
Huskies.
No, Huskies. Sort of obvious answer for both of us, weren't it, really?
Yeah, he's just, obviously we would have seen a lot of him in the year before playing for Invicta. So just one of those players that every team's kind of got a player like this, like Ruskin Springer Hughes. I think for me, for Chieftains, it's TJ Fillery. For Romford, it was probably IHUK last year, where they constant work. Every shift is 110%, and they get goals at vital moments.
He is NIHL unworthy, but again, it's family commitments. He's probably had to step down, and you know what? He's insane in that league. Yeah,
no, terrific to see. I think he's been announced as going back, or I might have overstepped the mark there, but be good to see him next year. I'm planning in my Haringey Huskies trip for next year already.
Yes.
And then on to Invicta, the Mustangs.
I went for James Lamming. Stats as well. He's played up with Dynamos, 100% sure.
Yeah.
He does,
he was full time at Dynamos.
He was. So again, another player that's an actual unworthy, that takes a step down, and he sort of runs the show alongside your pick as well. Yeah,
Aaron Ferris. Invicta Mustangs. Last year they had they had a better year off the ice than they did on the ice, really. They kind of did all right on the ice, but off the ice, where the crowds were like sold out, the social media was immense, and Aaron Ferris is just, he loves it.
And that's what brings the fans in.
Yeah, when that den goes quiet, that barn goes quiet down there, Aaron Ferris just picks on someone, drops the gloves, and it's on, and everyone gets up. And I think he's, again, similar to a lot of players that are labelled this enforcer. He's also got a lot of ability. He pops up with points for Invicta every now and again as well. But it's them players that you need in the side to keep everybody on their toes and keep them up and playing hard.
Yeah.
So we move into because there's a lot of teams in this league, so we had to make two separate slides.
Yeah, that's why I'm getting confused.
We both went the same, didn't we, on Lee Valley?
Yeah, it's hard to pick a player from a team that struggled so much, which is a horrible thing to say, but it is. But you sort of have to go on stats with this one, especially if you don't know anyone.
Well, to me as well, because I've seen him play up with Romford, And
yeah, you have, yeah.
And he stood out with Romford, and it was the first game of the season. Actually, I was on commentary for Romford against Invicta.
Yes.
At Sapphire, and we sort of read his name. And I said to Matty Udall, I said, "Oh, where's Nathan come from?" I said, "Oh, it's not a name I've seen before." And he said, "Oh, he's playing up from Lee Valley," and like within like 5-10 minutes, I was like, "Wow, yeah, this is good." So yeah, terrific to watch.
Yes.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll see some more of him at both levels this year.
Yes, hopefully.
Indeed. On to the MK Thunder, and I went with Xander Robinson.
I went with Mark Cannons.
Yeah, I mean, when we spoke with the Thunder guys up at Sheffield, they rave about Marks, don't they?
Yeah.
He's just done a terrific stuff since he's come in at Thunder.
Yeah, like, I mean, his stats were insane. So that was a sort of inevitable decision for me. I knew soon as we were doing Wilkinson, I was like, oh, well, I know who the MK Thunder is.
Yeah. Do you know what? I was the same, but more because of the amount I've seen Xander play.
Yeah.
And back from when he was at Buffalo as well. The first time I saw him play at Buffalo was in the South Finals at Ali Pali, and he stood out for me big time. And then we had that little viral clip earlier in the year where he did the little outside flick with the skate, controlling the puck and that, and it was... I think he's a player who's got a lot of class, a lot of ability. I think, personally, for me, this is probably his last season at NIHL 2.
It has to be. I
think we'll see him move up after this because he's got so much ability. He's a good lad. And, it would be good to see him playing a little bit higher as well. Oxford, the Rising Stars, the former, the past tense Rising Stars.
Oxford. I went with Kayla Paul. I got to a few Rising games, and every time she was in, she just shocks me every time. I love her as well. She is like just an amazing person.
I'm sure she's another one that we're going to have on, because I think you're organising getting her on the podcast.
Yes, I will drag her on it. I'll get her on here. But yeah, she's just a lovely person off the ice as well. Like, love her loads. Miss seeing her every week at training, obviously, for when I was doing Oxford City Star stuff. She'd be there every week. So she's just so passionate about ice hockey, and she's just bloody good at it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I went with Chris Beckett, so both brothers have got a shout in this in this list. Obviously, I've seen Chris play a lot at Chelmsford as well, so I'm fully aware of his abilities and everything. Great to see him still playing, because you get this thing, don't you, with this sport where they're coming through really good teenagers, getting to their 20s, get jobs, girlfriends, and they might wane away a little bit. It's so good to see that it doesn't happen a lot with hockey. It happens more in other sports, I think, but not so much in hockey.
Hockey, no. And I'll say, if it weren't Kayla, mine was Chris as well, because obviously I've seen Chris play for Rising and City Stars, and he is more than capable to play in IHL 1. Yeah,
absolutely. Peterborough, again, another set of brothers that we went for.
Yeah, I went with Connor Pollard. I mean, they're going to bloody miss him this year. Yeah, I mean, both of them they'll miss, but yeah, I mean, going back into the sign news, Haringey taking him away from Peterborough is a really big statement, I think.
Yeah, and I went with Nathan. Obviously, Nathan's what he added to that team as a player coach. It was always clear, particularly last year at the Steel City Showdown, where Peterborough kind of had a fantastic weekend. He was a massive part of it. Not been announced anywhere as of yet after announcing leaving Peterborough this year. From what I understand, it's not going too far.
No.
But it would be certainly good to see him still playing, because he's got so much ability, so much, and the temperament that he's got, I think, is absolutely terrific. Because it can be a very frustrating game to play. And I think he's got a great temperament. He's a great guy. He's always been really great with the podcast when we've wanted to speak before and after games and stuff. So I went with Big Nath for that one.
Wow, Spitfires.
Yeah, Spitfires, your second team.
Can't have no second teams now. I went with Felix Owens-Mayer.
And sorry, dude, I fucked your name up again. I'm sorry. Every fucking time.
Every time you do it. And, I always spelt his name right, because I knew it was an A, because I got told it was an A. So every time you do it, I'm like, fuck's sake, he's done it again.
It's the last time I need to be told. I'm telling you. This is in. As soon as he messed up, he messaged me he put his story up with the correct spelling. And I messaged him, I was like, for fuck's sake, like you and Ollie, every fucking time I do it.
Literally, I replied to the story. I was like, this is Ben, it's not me. I can prove it. Because literally in my text with all my players, I put A as well.
Yeah. You know what I think it is? I think it's autocorrect on my phone. I think I'm writing it right, and my phone is autocorrecting it.
Because you've spelt it wrong so much.
But all I have to write on my phone now is NE, and my phone says Necrosovicius.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
Yeah.
But what a great player, what a great lad.
Yeah, great lad, great player. He's a D-man, but he always gets an assist or he'll get a few goals in as well. But also he's just a funny one.
Yeah, I've gone with Edward Cave Humphrey. Big step up with the Jets last year, massive. That's where I saw obviously most of him. I didn't see a great deal of Wilkinson, so I saw the most of him at the Jets. And he's that kind of, I keep calling it a dynasty because that's what it is. They all play the same fucking way.
Yes, and that is why Spitfires works.
Yeah, because he plays this role for the Spitfires, and then he gets chucked in at the Jets, and he just goes on the ice and does exactly the same thing.
Yeah, so and that's why this pathway's working, because it was their first season last year. It's a hard league to go in. Sort of with completely fresh sort of pair of eyes when you think about it, because they're completely new and you've got all these young players with not a lot of experience. But it worked. I mean, I know they didn't get into playoff positions, which I know they were gutted about, but I still think they had a cracking first year.
Yeah, so close as well. It was on the final day.
Final day.
In it, I think, wasn't it? Yeah, really tight.
Point.
But be good to see what the Spitfires do next year. And then the Solent Junior Devils.
Same. Yeah.
Both same. I think we'd have seen him more with the Devils last year, to be fair. But Charlie Wedge had a breakout year for the Devils last year. I don't think we'll see him with juniors.
No.
Next
year.
And
if we do, he shouldn't be there.
Yeah, I think we'll see him with the Devils. And I think he'll be one of those players that they build around with their rebuild.
Yes.
It will be building around players like Charlie Wedge.
Yes, it will be.
But yeah, as we said, not everybody has announced players yet. So this is why we said with our post that we put out with the geographical locations of all the clubs, we don't know that that's confirmed that these are the leagues. We're just going off.
We're just going off right now. Right now.
So because we haven't heard anything from Solent Junior Devils player wise this year.
No, we haven't.
We haven't heard anything yet from Bison 2, but I think that news is coming.
Hopefully.
So we've had some coaching announcements out of Bison 2 of the people who are involved there. And I've had an internal chat as well with some people at the Bison 2 rather, to show what this pathway is going to be. And it honestly, the way that it sounds like it's been built is absolutely fantastic, and really kind of moving alongside and working parallel with this IHUK idea of grassroots all the way through. And Basingstoke is going to be that. And we kind of know it's almost like a hotbed of UK hockey, because that rink has been there for so long. That all these players that live, within half an hour of that rink, were having to go elsewhere and play whilst it was closed. So now there's opportunities, I think, for them to come back. And if they want to play at the 2 level, that opportunity is going to be there to help as well the juniors progress as they come out of the junior system. And then possibly progress up to the Bison in the National League. So we're doing rumours and whatnot. I've not heard any rumours. Off the top of my head, I think Casey Wilson might be a great signing for the Bison too.
Yeah, he would be. Obviously, I've watched Casey play for the team that I support, and I know he's a great person, and he's also a great person in the changing room. So anywhere he goes, it'll be fucking brilliant. Yeah, Bison 2 would not be a bad shout. Yeah,
so we'll see if that one comes to fruition. Again, no inside knowledge, it's just a thought.
No, it is just a thought.
Yeah, no, we haven't got that much in time knowledge there.
No.
Let's go over the scope then before we go through it. Because there's something I did want to kind of talk about, was every year in the game they talk about rule changes. They speak of the NHL coming to the 3-2-1 point system, which will be really interesting. Obviously the rest of Europe is on that now. We're on that in our division now. Maybe the National League can be looking at going to that as well. There's one that always comes up. I was speaking to someone the other day who said that they really want to see a power play, a goal, not releasing the player. So every minor penalty is behaved like a major penalty.
Yeah.
So if they commit that foul and that infraction, you get 4 minutes.
I like that, because I do think at the end of the day, you've got the power play, you're in the advantage, but at the end of the day, if you score or not, they've still done something wrong. So why should they have less just because you've scored?
Yeah, I do agree with it, but I quite like the flip side of it. I love the idea of the jailbreak goal.
Yeah.
So if you score short-handed, you get your player back.
Oh, yeah. I'm not keen on that, actually.
No?
No, because at the end of the day, they did wrong. And just because your teammate's doing right doesn't mean you should go back out.
Yeah, I just think it kind of encourages teams to attack when they're short-handed.
Yeah, I suppose. But then I do think you would see a lot more power play goals because I think a lot of teams won't get that goal and then they'll be too short at the back.
Mm. So I mean, if both of them rules were in, that could create carnage.
Yeah, that would be great. Everyone would be getting penalties, goals galore and everything. It would be brilliant.
Well, we could see perhaps brought in how the rule was running at the 4,000 count in charity game was that any penalty was a penalty shot.
Yeah, I would love that. That would be great.
Yeah, that was an interesting one, that one. But yeah, I think it's something that's always looked at of little ways to, not to change the game, but to try and
make it more fun.
Keep it more entertaining, get new people involved in it. So, I mean, even things like, I know obviously everyone's getting quite excited with the World Cup with football at the moment, that the offside rule in football constantly needs explaining, but for me in hockey, the offside rule is so simple.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, it's simple in football. I don't know why people find it so difficult.
Yeah, in fairness, I don't. I do find it simple in football as well, but I know some people do struggle with it. But with all these fucking lines and shit they draw all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas, but this is the kind of point with it. Like with football, I quite like the Wenger idea of having daylight.
Yeah.
Because that's like what we've got with the blue line.
Mhm.
So like,
if you're offside, you're offside. You can't get toenail offside.
No, it's either off or it's on.
Mm.
So having the blue line there is absolutely perfect for that. Yeah. So in football, if any part of the body is crossing, it's on.
Yeah.
And then that would make it a lot easier, a lot quicker. Because VAR, fuck VAR, I fucking hate it.
The bane of my fucking existence.
So the final thing that we're gonna double on before we trot off on our summer getaways.
Yes.
Before coming back to Chat Puck for the rest of the season. Who do you think is going to be the best import in the NIHL 1 this season?
See, this is hard because this is just so far.
Oh yeah, just because
I mean, you're away for 2 weeks, aren't you?
Yep.
I'm only away for 4 days, but I'm sure there'll be quite a few signings out in those 4 days. Let me have a think. I should have prepared myself for this. Do you know yours?
I do, but I'm wary of the Chelmsford bias again. I do think that William Robinson is going to be a superstar.
I was going to say, I think Will
really well.
Yeah, I think William Robinson's just mine, obviously, from sort of seeing from, would you say a backseat point of view where you don't really know, you don't really know any imports that, you don't know how they're going to play, like we were saying earlier.
No.
But, I mean, the whole Canadian thing, you'd hope.
But I'm really intrigued to see Ethan Hersant play for Chieftains, because because he comes from the Cayman Islands as well, who have just had their first player drafted in the NHL.
NHL, yeah.
So that's kind of like a weird little story there. But he's that level playing in Sweden and college in America. I think he's going to be really, really good.
Yeah, Again, I feel like with any import, you sort of read what they've done or, where they've been, and you go, they're going to be good. But until, again, they put their skate on that ice in this league, we'll never know.
You just don't know.
You just don't know. But yeah, I'll go William Robinson, I think.
You go William Robinson. I'll go Ethan Hersant then, and you go William Robinson. And
bias.
Everyone just call me a Chelmsford bias. But
Chelmsford bias.
don't like it. Tell me your opinion.
Oh.
No.
All love here. Tell me your opinion.
It's all love. Well, mate, that does us. I will see you in a few weeks where we'll be chatting with C. That is going to be interesting.
Yes, I cannot wait.
Yeah.
We met her at the 4,000 game. She was
she did come over and said hello. She was great. We had a great chat.
Yeah, as well. She stayed.
Yeah, she stayed. She came and had a drink afterwards and everything.
Yeah, it was lovely.
It's because I think the idea behind what she's doing is it's similar to what a lot of the podcasts are doing. It's getting people interested in the game.
Yeah,
getting people involved in it.
That's what we're all here for, to advocate for the game we love and for it to grow more.
Yeah. So, but she's putting out some really, really fun stuff, and because in a world where social media can be seen as a massive negative, she's taking a big positive chunk out of it.
Positive, yeah. Which, sort of describes her as the person we met at Slough.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So really, really looking forward to having her on. And we'll get to that sort of, end of July time, where by then we should have loads more signings to discuss. We might,
and then it will be a month away.
Yeah, so by that point we should be getting some fixtures, some confirmed league setups at least, maybe some cup setups.
I would hope by the end of July, because if it's not by the end of July, that is pushing it late. just a bit.
And we will have something relatively exclusive out of Oxford Stars in a week or so, should we?
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
See? Bias.
Yeah. No, it's not biased if I'm getting asked content.
No, you're getting asked. No, that's using our connections.
Yeah, that's it. Networking.
Networking. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your time as always.
And you, mate.
Yeah, thank you so much for listening, and have a fantastic summer. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, we'll see you soon.